This is it. It all comes down to this. It's time to compare the WeiLong WRM to the GTS3M. Here's what I plan to cover: specifications on both puzzles, size, weight, and price, magnetic strength, structural differences to include the quality of the plastic, as well as piece differences. Since I have these puzzles set up, here are the specs for both. The GTS3M size is 56mm, and the WeiLong WRM size is also 56mm. The GTS3M's weight is 92.0 grams, and the WeiLong WRM's weight is actually 90.0 grams, so not that big of a difference. Lastly, the price for the GTS3M and the WeiLong WRM is both $34.95, and you can get these both right now on speedcubeshop.com. The first thing I'd like to address is what I feel is the biggest issue that separates these two cubes from one another. And yes, even bigger than the lack of ridges, I'm talking about the magnetic strength. The one thing I absolutely love about the GTS3M is the strong magnets. I absolutely love the defined magnetic bump that I really need for my aggressive turning style. On the flip side, the WeiLong WRM has relatively weak magnets. It took me a while to make this realization since I didn't have my GTS3M on hand, but it's pretty significantly different. I'd be willing to say that the magnets aren't even medium strength. They feel very light. I know people have their magnetic preferences, and for me, I'm drawn to the stronger magnets, so I'm heavily considering getting a non-magnetic version of the WR just to put some N50 magnets in it. Okay, enough of the magnets, time to move on. Going into the hardware, there was a significant upgrade to the boxes, as well as the hardware included. The GTS3M's hardware is fairly basic, no spring upgrades, just tensioning hardware and some extra magnets. Where the WeiLong came with all of the upgrades: extra springs, screws, core, dual adjustment parts. So clearly the WeiLong WR wins with those upgrades. In case you're wondering, I upgraded my springs for the comparison. Okay, time to compare the structural differences. I know the internals all look the same, but there are some structural differences to point out. To start, the obvious: the GTS3M has ridges, and the WR has no ridges, hence the name WR, meaning without ridges. I know it should go without saying, but it's better to state the obvious. The next thing I'd like to compare is the plastic. As far as I've been told, the plastic is the same. However, the WeiLong WRM has more of a matted feel to it, where the GTS3M has more of a glossy feel to it. Because of this, the WeiLong feels a bit more flimsy than the GTS3M. I'm like 97.3% confident this is all in my head, but I'm just massively biased to the ridges being there. Since we're on the topic of the corner and edge pieces, the GTS3M has those rounded corner edges, while the WeiLong comes more to a defined point. I don't feel like this impacts the cube performance in any way, but it still is a noticeable difference. As you can hear, the GTS3M has a loud clacky noise, while the WeiLong WRM has that more buttery feel sound to it. Granted, these are both set up exactly the same. The lack of ridges is noticeable, and I find my fingers slip a bit more with the WeiLong WR as opposed to the GTS3M, where I feel I have more of a confident grip. The biggest problem I have at the moment is the WeiLong WRM's lack of magnetic strength. It's very hard to feel comfortable with this cube when I don't have the confidence of strong magnets. Thankfully, the GTS3M has very strong magnets and is something I can rely on. With that said, I'm willing to get a non-magnetized version of the WR just to magnetize it myself with some N50 magnets and just to see if that impacts it at all. So all of that considered, my hopes of finding a new main continues. The GTS3M is going to be my main still. To end this video on a positive note regarding the WeiLong WRM, if you hate ridges and would rather have less strong magnets, this is a fantastic cube. It's extremely smooth and it feels amazing. I just don't really experience many lockups, and the buttering turn is pretty great. It's just unfortunately not the right fit for my turning style. So I hope this video helps you make a decision on these two cubes. If you're new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell to be notified. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it and plan on getting one of these two cubes or both. Comment any thoughts below and let me know which cube fits your style better. And remember to use discount code CubeSolveCrew at checkout for all your orders. And until next time, happy cubing.